Each morning, before the world rushes in with its noise and its demands, there is a sacred moment that belongs only to you. A quiet breath where the sun has not yet spoken, and life asks softly, "Who will you choose to be today?" In that tender space, you are given the extraordinary power to shape your mind before doubts awaken, before fear remembers your name, before yesterday tries to pull you backward. For it is in the earliest moments, in the hush of dawn, that strength is built, courage is born, and clarity finds its voice. When you rise and build your mind each morning, you do more than prepare for a day. You prepare for a life that cannot be shaken. Let us step into that power together. Each morning is a rebirth, an invitation to rise wiser than yesterday. When you open your eyes at dawn, you are not the same person who closed them the night before. Every dream you carried, every tear you shed, every doubt you wrestled with has already begun to shape a new version of you. The morning does not demand perfection from you. It simply offers a fresh beginning, a gentle reminder that no matter what happened in the shadows of yesterday, you are granted the grace to try again. In that first breath of the day, you are handed the chance to choose growth over fear, hope over hesitation, and wisdom over worry. Life renews itself in the quiet glow before the sun fully rises, and so can you. When you treat each morning as a rebirth, you begin to understand that you are never trapped by your past. Every sunrise whispers, "You have been given another chance to become." It invites you to stand taller than the mistakes that tried to break you, and to walk away from the versions of yourself that you no longer wish to carry. Yesterday's pain may have visited you, but it does not get to stay unless you open the door. The morning light encourages you to keep becoming someone stronger, someone softer, someone more whole. You are reminded that being human means being allowed to grow, to heal, to start again without apology. As you rise into this new day, let the lessons of your past become stepping stones rather than chains. Let each challenge you survived deepen your courage. Let every moment of discomfort teach you patience. Let the failures that once felt heavy on your heart transform into wisdom that now walks beside you. The rebirth you experience each morning is not loud or dramatic. It is quiet and steady, like the earth turning gently toward the sun. You do not need grand gestures to become wiser, only the willingness to learn, to listen, and to lift yourself 1 inch higher than you were before. Every dawn gives you the opportunity to choose your thoughts with tenderness and intention. You can tell yourself a new story, one that honors your strength and acknowledges your journey. You can speak to yourself with the kind of compassion that invites healing and the kind of courage that invites transformation. When you begin your day with a mind committed to growth, you step into the world armed with clarity rather than confusion, hope rather than heaviness, and purpose rather than panic. The world may try to rush you, overwhelm you, or distract you, but a reborn mind meets each moment with grace. So rise each morning knowing you are not bound to yesterday's version of yourself. Rise knowing that the universe has offered you light, breath, and another chance at becoming. Rise with the understanding that wisdom grows not from perfection, but from presence. Each morning is your invitation to begin again, wiser, calmer, braver. Answer that invitation with an open heart and a willing mind, and you will discover that the power to transform your life has always lived within you. Your mind is the first home you ever lived in. Clean it, strengthen it, honor it. Long before you learned your name, before you understood the weight of the world, your mind was the place that held your earliest wonders and your earliest fears. It has carried every memory, every bruise, every secret, every victory. And yet, so often, we treat this sacred home with less care than we give to the places we walk through only once. Each morning gives you the chance to step into that home with intention, to open the windows of your thoughts and let the light pour in, to clear out the dust of doubt and disappointment that settled overnight. Just as you would not welcome guests into a home that has been neglected, you must not step into your day with a mind that has been ignored. When you choose to clean your mind each morning, you are not pretending that life is perfect. You are simply making room for clarity to breathe. You sweep away the memories that no longer serve you, the voices that told you that you were less than enough, the fears that tried to convince you to shrink. You release the clutter of comparison and worry that weighs heavily on your spirit. This cleansing is not a single act, it is a gentle and deliberate practice. It is choosing to let go of yesterday's noise so that today's purpose can find its place. A mind restored each morning becomes a sanctuary of peace, even when the world around you is restless. Strengthening your mind is a daily devotion. You strengthen it with the thoughts you choose, the words you speak to yourself, and the company you keep within your own heart. Every morning, you have the chance to lift your inner voice higher. You can feed your mind with gratitude, with truth, with possibilities that stretch beyond the limitations you once believed. A strong mind is not untouched by hardship. It is forged through it. It is built by the moments that tested you, shaped by the storms that tried to bend you. When you choose strength each morning, you remind yourself that resilience does not appear by accident. It grows from the discipline of returning to your power again and again. To honor your mind is to acknowledge its needs, its stories, and its beauty. It means respecting the emotions that rise within you, not as enemies, but as teachers. It means giving yourself the grace to heal at your own pace. It means treating your inner world with the dignity you deserve. When you honor your mind, you speak to yourself with the tenderness you would offer a child learning to walk, the reverence you would give a place of worship, the care you would extend to someone you love deeply. Honor is shown in the way you rest, the way you forgive, the way you rise even when you feel uncertain. It is shown each morning when you choose presence over pressure. Your mind is your first home, and it will be your last. No matter where you travel, who stands with you, or what you face, it is the one place you cannot leave behind. So tend to it each morning with devotion. Clean it from the dust of old fears, strengthen it with the courage to believe in yourself, and honor it with the love you deserve. When you treat your mind as the sacred home it truly is, your entire life begins to shift. You walk with peace, you move with intention, and no matter what rises to meet you, you carry a home within you that cannot be shaken. Before the world speaks to you, speak to yourself with courage and kindness. Long before messages reach your phone, before responsibilities knock on your door, and before the voices of others try to shape your steps, there is a quiet moment where only your own voice can be heard. That is the moment you must claim. That is the space where your strength begins. In that gentle pause between sleep and waking, your mind is soft, open, and ready to receive whatever you choose to plant within it. If you do not fill that sacred space with courage and kindness, the world will fill it with confusion, pressure, and noise. So you speak first, not in fear, not in doubt, but in truth. You tell yourself that you are capable, that you are worthy, that you are enough. You speak to your spirit like someone who deserves to rise. The world will not always greet you with warmth. It will challenge your patience, test your confidence, and sometimes bruise your heart. But if you begin your day by grounding yourself in words that uplift rather than diminish you, those challenges will not have the power to define you. Speaking to yourself with courage means reminding yourself that you have survived everything life has thrown at you so far, and that no shadow is stronger than your light. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the quiet but steady decision that fear will not be the one to guide you. It is telling yourself, I can handle what comes, even when you are unsure. Mourning gives you that permission. It gives you that choice. Kindness, too, is a language you must speak to yourself before anyone else does. You may spend your day giving grace to others, offering patience to strangers, or lifting people who cross your path, But how often do you offer the same tenderness to the person in the mirror? When you speak kindly to yourself in the morning, you soften the harshness that life can bring. You remind yourself that growth takes time, that healing is not linear, and that mistakes do not make you unworthy. Kindness is the balm that keeps your spirit from cracking under the weight of expectation. It is the reminder that you are human and allowed to be imperfect. Without kindness, courage becomes hard and brittle. With kindness, courage becomes steady and enduring. Every morning, speak into yourself what you wish the world would echo back. If you want respect, begin by respecting your own journey. If you want peace, cultivate it in your thoughts before the day pulls you in every direction. If you want joy, give yourself permission to feel it even in small doses, even when life feels heavy. Your words shape your path long before your feet begin to walk it. Your voice sets the tone long before the world has its say. When you speak to yourself with courage and kindness before anything else, you awaken the strength to face the world without losing yourself in it. There is power in the first voice you hear each morning, and it should be your own. A voice that lifts, steadies, and affirms. A voice that says, I am ready, I am growing, I am worthy of the life I am building. When you choose those words intentionally, the world may still challenge you, but it will not shake you. You will rise, walk, and live from a mind fortified by love and a heart anchored in truth. A strong mind is built in silence long before it shines in action. The world often praises the victories it can see, the achievements, the breakthroughs, the moments of triumph that sparkle on the surface. But the truth is, none of those moments begin in the spotlight. They begin in the quiet spaces no one else witnesses. They grow in the still mornings when you sit with your thoughts, when you breathe through your worries, when you teach yourself patience even as your heart races. Strength is not born from noise. It is cultivated in the soft, unseen places of your own becoming. In the silence, you learn to listen to what your soul is trying to say, and you begin to understand that true power comes not from being louder, but from being grounded. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is the workshop where your mind gathers its tools. It is where clarity sharpens itself and where confusion untangles its knots. In a world flooded with opinions, demands, and distractions, silence becomes a refuge, a place where your inner voice can finally rise above the noise. This is the space where your fears confess themselves honestly, where your hopes begin to whisper their names, and where your wisdom has room to grow. If you want a strong mind, you must be willing to sit in that silence, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when it feels unfamiliar. For it is in those quiet moments that you begin to discover who you truly are. When you allow yourself silence every morning, you give your mind the chance to breathe. You allow your thoughts to settle instead of scatter. You allow peace to expand instead of shrink. And in that stillness, a certain kind of strength begins to rise, slowly, gently, but undeniably. A strength that does not depend on applause or validation. A strength that cannot be shaken by criticism or chaos. A strength that knows its own name even when the world tries to rename you. Silence teaches you to trust yourself. It teaches you to wait for the right moment, to listen before you speak, to observe before you react. These quiet lessons become the foundation that holds you steady when life storms around you. Long before your actions inspire others, your mind must first inspire you. Before your steps lead you forward, your thoughts must align with your purpose. This alignment does not happen in the rush of the day or the pressure of expectations. It happens in the silence you create intentionally. It happens in the early minutes of the morning when you sit with yourself and gently remind your spirit of its path. That is where action is born. That is where certainty grows roots. That is where discipline takes its first breath. When a mind is built on silence, it moves differently through the world. It does not panic when faced with difficulty. It does not crumble at the weight of uncertainty. It walks with an inner calm that others can feel but cannot quite explain. People may see your accomplishments and wonder how you remain steady, how you stay focused, how you rise again and again. They may never understand that your strength was shaped quietly, in moments when no one was looking, in mornings where you chose stillness over chaos. But you will know that your silence was not a pause. It was preparation. And when the time comes for your actions to shine, they will shine with a brilliance built not on noise, but on deep, quiet strength. The morning you master your thoughts is the morning you master your life. Each day begins like a blank page, and your thoughts are the first lines written upon it. Before the tasks, before the conversations, before the world begins to shape the course of your day, your mind sets the tone. What you think in those first quiet moments becomes the lens through which you will see everything that follows. If your thoughts are scattered, your day will feel scattered. If your thoughts are fearful, the world will seem heavy. But when your thoughts are steady, loving, and intentional, life begins to align itself in ways that feel almost miraculous. Mastery does not mean controlling every idea that passes through your mind. It means choosing which ones you give permission to stay. Thoughts are powerful architects. They can build you up or quietly dismantle you from within. A single thought can lift your spirit or dim your hope. That is why the morning matters so deeply. It is your chance to choose the architect you will follow for the rest of the day. When you wake, your mind is fresh, unshaped, untouched by the noise that waits just beyond your door. In that softness of dawn, you hold the privilege of choosing thoughts that nourish rather than drain you. You can decide to replace doubt with determination, fear with faith, and hesitation with courage. In the quiet of the morning, your thoughts are malleable, ready to bend toward the direction you truly desire. That is where mastery begins, not in perfection, but in intention. Mastering your thoughts is an act of gentleness as much as it is an act of discipline. You do not force your mind into silence, you guide it. You do not criticize yourself for thinking poorly. You redirect yourself with patience. When a negative thought rises, you meet it with curiosity rather than judgment. You ask whether it helps you grow, whether it honors your truth, whether it deserves your energy. And if it does not, you simply let it drift away. Mastery means knowing that you are not your thoughts. You are the one who chooses which thoughts to follow. Each morning, remind yourself that you have the authority to choose peace over panic, clarity over confusion, and strength over self-doubt. When you begin your day with thoughts aligned to your purpose, the world cannot easily shake you. Challenges may still come, but they will no longer feel like threats. They will feel like invitations to rise higher. Obstacles will no longer pull you backward. They will sharpen your focus. Even hardships that once overwhelmed you will lose their power, because your mind will be grounded in something deeper than circumstance. Mastery gives you the ability to walk through storms without losing your center, to face uncertainty without surrendering your peace. This is not magic. It is the quiet gift of choosing your thoughts before the world chooses them for you. Life changes when your thoughts change. Your courage expands, your vision clears, your spirit steadies, and all of it begins in the morning, in those first few breaths where you decide the tone of your day. When you master your thoughts at dawn, you step into life with intention rather than reaction. You move with purpose rather than pressure. You live from the inside out, not from the outside in. And in doing so, you discover that the true power to shape your life has always lived within your mind, waiting patiently for you to claim it. Choose words that lift you, thoughts that shape you, and habits that crown you. Every morning, you are given the chance to decide what kind of energy you invite into your life. The world will offer you many voices, some gentle, some harsh, some encouraging, and some discouraging. But your own voice will always be the one you hear the most. That is why the words you speak to yourself matter more than you often realize. If those words are heavy, life will feel heavy. If those words are cruel, you will shrink beneath their weight. But when your words lift you, when they carry compassion and truth, you rise into your day with a strength that feels almost unshakable. You become your own source of comfort, your own source of courage. In the quiet of the morning, choose words that help you grow, instead of words that make you doubt your worth. Your thoughts, too, are sculptors shaping the landscape of your mind. They carve paths that you will walk upon for the rest of the day. Some thoughts clear the way, lighting the road ahead with clarity and confidence. Others create barriers, filling your steps with hesitation and fear. It is not the presence of negative thoughts that weakens you. It is allowing them to lead. Each morning, you have the opportunity to sift through your thoughts, keeping the ones that encourage you and releasing the ones that do not serve you. Let the thoughts that shape you be the ones that honor your potential. Let them be thoughts that remind you of how far you've come, how deeply you've healed, and how capable you are of stepping into the life you want. When your thoughts align with the person you hope to become, your actions naturally follow. Habits are the crowns you wear, silent, steady symbols of the life you are building. You do not earn a crown in a single morning, nor do you receive it through luck or chance. It is given by the small decisions you make each day, the choices that seem insignificant in the moment, but carry great weight over time. A morning habit of gratitude crowns you with peace. A habit of reflection crowns you with wisdom. A habit of speaking truth to yourself crowns you with confidence. Habits do not shout their presence, but their influence echoes through every part of your life. They shape your days, which in turn shape your destiny. Choose habits that honor who you are becoming, rather than habits that keep you tied to who you used to be. When you choose words that lift you, you begin your day with compassion. When you choose thoughts that shape you, you walk your day with intention. When you choose habits that crown you, you live your day with purpose. These choices create a life rooted in self-respect and grounded in clarity. They become the quiet rituals that strengthen your mind each morning and prepare you to face the world with grace. With good words, good thoughts, and good habits, you become someone who rises not because life is easy, but because your foundation is strong. And when you rise from that kind of strength, nothing in this world can take your crown away. Gratitude in the morning is fuel for resilience throughout the day. When you wake and allow your first thoughts to rest on what is good, what is present, and what still remains possible, you build a foundation that no hardship can easily break. Gratitude is not about pretending life is perfect or ignoring the weight you carry. It is about acknowledging that even in your challenges, there is still light. It is the simple act of saying, I am here, and that is enough to begin. When your morning opens with appreciation, whether for breath, for shelter, for the chance to try again, you align your heart with strength instead of scarcity. Gratitude softens the edges of worry and creates space for peace to enter. It becomes the gentle reminder that you have survived much and that you are capable of surviving more. When you choose gratitude in the earliest moments of your day, you teach your mind to look for what is working instead of what is broken. You remind yourself that even in seasons of struggle, there are pieces of life that continue to hold you steady. Gratitude is a lens that shifts your perspective, not by denying the storm, but by helping you see the anchor within it. It allows you to recognize the quiet blessings you might overlook. The warmth of sunlight on your face, the sound of your own heartbeat, the presence of people who care for you, the strength that carried you through yesterday's battles. These small recognitions gather together like threads, weaving a fabric of resilience that wraps around your spirit. With gratitude, the world does not feel as heavy because you are no longer holding it alone. Resilience grows in the soil of appreciation. When you start your morning by naming what you are thankful for, you strengthen your ability to endure what the day may bring. Gratitude gives you the courage to face difficult moments with hope rather than bitterness. It teaches you to bend without breaking, to rise without fear, and to continue even when the path feels unclear. You begin to understand that setbacks are not signs of failure, but invitations to grow. With gratitude guiding your thoughts, disappointment loses its sting and obstacles lose their power. You meet the world with a quieter heart, a steadier mind, and a deeper sense of trust in your own ability to navigate whatever unfolds. There is a kind of calm that gratitude creates, a calm that cannot be borrowed from the world because it comes from within you. When you start your day by appreciating the simple gifts life has offered, you move through your hours with a grounded spirit. Noise does not shake you as easily. Stress does not consume you as quickly. You respond to life rather than react to it. You give yourself permission to slow down, to breathe, to recognize the beauty hidden in ordinary moments. Gratitude becomes a quiet companion that walks beside you, reminding you of the strength you carry and the blessings you often forget to acknowledge. A grateful morning becomes a resilient day. It fills your heart with hope, strengthens your mind with clarity, and prepares your spirit for whatever may come. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a practice. And when you practice it each morning, you become someone who rises above challenges not because life is easy, but because your heart has learned to see the good even in the midst of difficulty. With gratitude as your morning fuel, resilience becomes your natural response, and no matter what the world brings, you meet it with grace, courage, and an unshakable sense of inner strength.